When teaching your learners formal time telling, the easiest times to start with are o'clock and half past. Remember that there may be some learners in your class whose parents may have already taught them to tell time. Allow them to explain what they already know and only correct where necessary. Children enjoy being able to express their knowledge. For the rest of the class, go through the different aspects of an analog clock. It is essential to have a model clock to demonstrate on. If you cannot buy one, they are easy enough to make. Once again, discuss the longhand and shorthand, which direction the hands move in, which is clockwise, what the numbers mean, and how you count in fives to show the minutes in an hour. To teach o'clock, tell your learners that the longhand will always be on the 12, and the shorthand will always be on the number of the hour it is. Ask different learners to show on the model clock a few different times. For example, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and so on. Make sure that they move their hands in a clockwise direction and that the long and short hands are in the correct places. Write o'clock on the board and show learners that when you write it out, you always put the number first and then write o'clock. Now show them o'clock on a digital clock. Because it is the start of a new hour, o'clock will always be the first number of the new hour, and then there'll be 2 dots and then 2 zeros to show that no time has passed of that hour. After your learners have understood o'clock, you can move on to teaching half past. But first make sure to do numerous activities, which we will discuss in more detail later, to ensure their understanding. Talk about the clock being a whole, and if you draw a line down the middle, you get 2 halves. This ties in quite nicely with fractions. Show the long hand starting at the 12 for o'clock and moving clockwise. Your learners must tell you to stop when you have gone through half of the clock. Ask them what number you have stopped on, and they should be able to tell you it's 6. Explain to your learners that the time is now 7:30. Past means after, and so it is half an hour past 7 o'clock. Ask if anybody knows where the small hand should be. It should be directly in between the 7 and 8 because it is exactly halfway between the 2 hours. Now look at the digital clock. Because it is still the 7th hour, the first number is 7, then there are the 2 dots, and we put 30. Ask your learners why they think that the number on the digital clock for half past is 30. They should be able to tell you that when you count in fives from the 12 to the 6, you come to 30. Also, an hour is 60 minutes and half of 60 is 30. Therefore, 30 minutes is the same as half an hour. Once again, allow your learners to show you different half past times on the model clock to consolidate what they have learned.